Your screen lights up, your ears greeted by that upbeat track. Enter the protagonist right on cue. You're hit by a wave of color, but just like death and taxes, the cherry blossoms are fallen. But those pink petals aren't just there to look beautiful. They have meaning. Hi, this is Kurt from the Gajumaru. Let's talk a bit about the history of mono no aware in Japanese media. While the concept of mono no aware has no real direct translation into the English language, it can be boiled down to a melancholic feeling. A feeling often associated with the falling of cherry blossoms. An ode to the passage of time. This idea dates as far back as the Tale of Genji in the early 11th century, and was first associated with the work in the 18th century by critic Motonaga no Toori. It leans heavily into Buddhist themes, such as impermanence and rebirth. However, mono no aware isn't restricted to only Japanese literature. Enter Ozu Yasujiro. Ozu believed the concept of family was like the seasons. The family unit is impermanent, constantly changing. Children are born, the elderly pass. Children marry and start their own families. It makes sense then that this idea of mono no aware, the melancholy over how life continuously changes with the passage of time, fits Ozu's films so perfectly. Many critics focus on the dissolution of the families within Ozu's films, but really Ozu was just showing us, while it may even harken a deep sadness within, ultimately it would renew again, like the cherry blossom trees do every spring. This concept isn't unique to Ozu, however. It is also an important piece of one of my favorite shows of the year. It even has its own cherry blossom tree. Well, sorta. There is a clear lineage to Ozu's films within Frieren. As time passes, multiple people move in and out of her life, and each leaves their own mark on her family. In fact, the show heavily delves upon the idea of the passage of time. We are constantly shown the fact that as time moves on, memories fade, but ultimately, that's okay.
フォルジー、魔王はもう
leaving us, the audience, with this feeling of mono no aware. In fact, there are three main techniques that the director Frieren utilizes to leave the audience with this feeling. I talked about the first extensively in my previous video. But in short, Saito utilized the cut to impart this feeling to the audience. The second is his use of montage. But I want to talk a bit more in depth about the third way that Saito helps to blend the mono no aware that was already present within the Frieren manga with the Frieren anime. In an interview with the November 2023 issue of New Type, director Saito talks about how he tried to not make any visual difference between the present and flashbacks within Frieren. The reason for this was to more tightly connect Frieren's present and Frieren's past, as he felt that it was important to highlight the effect of Frieren's past on her current self.
ありがとう。ヒンベル様。
This visual choice helps to truly impart the sense of mono no aware to the anime. I think one of the strongest examples happens in the 10th episode during Frieren's battle against Ara the Guillotine. We flash back to Frieren's time with Flam, 3 years after Flam has started to train Frieren. Then we move forward 50 years to an intimate conversation between master and student. In this touching scene, Flam asks Frieren,
フリーレン、一つ頼みがある。
何？
私の墓の周りは花畑にしてくれ。
Wow. The unchanging animation style helps to truly impart upon the audience the weight of Frieren's experiences, and ultimately hammer home how all these moments have led Frieren to where she is today. She may have lost her master. She may have lost the mere 10-year party, but she isn't alone. The individual members of Frieren's life may be just like the flowers from her favorite spell, impermanent and ultimately bound by the passage of time. However, as old flowers wilt, new ones will bloom and take their place beside her. This feeling is achieved all through this unique visual choice made by Saito Keiichiro. Ultimately, this feeling of Mono no Oware isn't unique to only Frieren. The melancholic feeling can be seen in many different anime that lament the many beauties of a fleeting moment lost to time. But I believe the way that Frieren both visually and narratively encompasses Mono no Oware is a thing of beauty.
ねえ、秒速5センチなんだって。
え、何？
桜の花の落ちるスピード、秒速5センチメートル。
So next time your screen lights up, you can appreciate this beauty and the sadness. Thanks for watching. Next time on the Gajumaru. So Kevin,
Yeah.
is spice the most important thing in life?
Nah, man. The trannies.
We talk. Hope to see you then.